Hey boys and girls, Miss Bento here to demonstrate how we are going to do our benchmark pre-write, okay? So yesterday, your job was to log into Google Classroom, and Miss Bento and your teachers have created sentence starters for you guys to answer. You had 4 questions to answer, okay? Your first question was, I know communities are important because we have community helpers like, and I use the example of a firefighter, right? We've talked about many different types of community helpers like the mailman, veterinarians, doctors, nurses, police officers, security officers, right, at school, your teachers, right? These are all people in the community that help us, okay? So I want you to pick one. So again, Ms. Bento used firefighter, and then you're gonna tell me what their job is. So I said their job is to make sure we are safe. The second question you were supposed to answer was you were supposed to think about our text, Abuela, and 2 of the things that Abuela and the little girl saw or did on their adventure. So in the community of New York, Abuela and the little girl have seen, and I use the example of parks and buildings, right? At the beginning of our story, they started at the park. We also saw many buildings, just like in Orange, right? They're both urban communities. Your third question was to think of 2 things that you see in Orange as well. Should be similar to your response here. So Miss Bento, her example is, in my community, Orange, New Jersey, we also have parks and buildings, right? And then for number 4, I wanted you guys to tell me about something you did in your community. So I use the example, one time I went to the park with my grandma, just like in the story, right? We went on a walk and gave the birds bread. Short and sweet, nothing to it. So today, your job is just to take all of this information and put it into one cohesive piece, and I'm going to show you how we do that. Okay, so each first grade class, you might have a different symbol to find it in your notebook. In Miss Bento's class, we're using the hashtag symbol. In your classes, I know some of you guys are using hearts or a little house, but remember to draw your symbol so you know where to find it in your notebook. The first thing all you guys need to do is rewrite what you typed in yesterday for homework. So I'm going to start with number 1. So remember, a 5-star sentence, a good sentence, right? 5-star sentences, we always start with that's right, capital letter. So I know communities. Now, notice how Ms. Bento's skipping lines. We want to make sure we're skipping lines so that way when we meet with our teachers during small group, we can edit all together and fix our mistakes. So I want you guys to remember, skip those lines. So I know communities, skip a line, are important because we, remember, skip that line, where was this? We have community helpers like, and this is where you are just filling in your response. So again, Miss Bento used firefighter, but you can use any community helper. Skip a line. Firefighters, period, right? We always end with punctuation. Their job is to, skip that line, make sure we are safe, period, right? So all Miss Bento did was rewrite the sentence starter with the information inside of it. So I know I did that, so I'm just going to do a little check mark so I know. So now I'm on to number 2. So I'm just taking this information again and putting it onto my paper. So I'm going to move this down a little bit, right? Skip a line, capital letter, in the community of New York is a place, so we want to make sure it's capitalized. The community of New York, and Abuela gets capitalized, right? It's a name, Abuela, and the, skip that line,